Millions of years ago, Earth was a terrifying place for humans. Every step across the ancient savanna could be your last, because you weren't the hunter, you were the hunted. Lions, hyenas, wolves, crocodiles, death could come from every direction. Ancient humans had no sharp claws, no powerful jaws, no thick fur, and no incredible speed. Compared to the predators around them, they seemed almost defenseless. The ancient world wasn't ruled by just one predator. Every habitat had its own deadly hunter, and humans had to survive them all. One of humanity's greatest enemies was the lion. Faster, stronger, and armed with razor-sharp claws and crushing jaws, a single lion could overpower an unprepared human within seconds. Unlike lions, hyenas relied on numbers. A lone human wasn't facing one predator, but an entire pack working together. Some predators didn't chase their prey, they waited, perfectly still, until it was already too late. Not every predator hunted on the ground. Leopards silently watched from above, striking with incredible speed when no one expected it. Water meant life, but it also meant risk. Every trip to drink could become a deadly gamble. When the sun disappeared, the danger became even greater. Humans struggled to see, but many predators were only beginning their hunt. Alone, a human had little chance of surviving, but together something remarkable began to happen. Groups became humanity's first and greatest weapon. Every member of the group watched a different direction. While one searched for food, another searched for danger. Even sleep became a team effort. While most rested, someone always stayed awake, listening for the slightest sound in the darkness. Before building shelters, humans often escaped danger by climbing trees. From above, they could rest and spot predators before it was too late. Humans couldn't outrun a lion or overpower a hyena. But they possessed something even more powerful: the ability to think, plan, and learn. Humans didn't begin with swords or spears. Their very first weapon was something lying all around them: ordinary stones. Instead of wrestling with predators, humans learned something smarter: they could attack without getting close. Long before spoken language existed, humans warned one another with loud calls, gestures, and simple sounds. A single warning could save an entire group. When danger appeared, the strongest adults didn't run first, they surrounded the children, forming a living shield. Humans were still weaker than every major predator. But something had changed. They no longer survived because they were lucky, they survived because they adapted. To ancient predators, humans weren't special. They were simply another meal, often one of the easiest to catch. The smallest members of the group were the most vulnerable. Ancient parents had to guard their children every single day. Hyenas didn't always rush in, they watched patiently, searching for the weakest, the slowest, or the one who became separated from the group. Even the strongest person couldn't defeat nature alone. One mistake, one moment of overconfidence, could mean disaster. Every sunrise brought the same challenge: find food, protect the family, avoid becoming someone else's meal. Some predators didn't need speed, they relied on patience. They could remain perfectly still for hours waiting for a single mistake. Wolves and hyenas understood teamwork long before humans mastered it. Every member had a role, and together, they became far more dangerous. Humans couldn't sprint faster than most predators. Their only chance was to keep moving together, never falling behind. Ancient humans quickly learned that danger could come from any direction. Looking only ahead was never enough. Predator after predator had sharper teeth, stronger muscles, and greater speed, but humans possessed something none of them could match: the ability to learn from every encounter. Stones could scare predators away, but humans wanted something better. They began turning ordinary branches into the world's first simple weapons. For the first time, humans could keep dangerous animals at a safer distance. It wasn't perfect, but it was a beginning. Survival wasn't random. Every member of the group had a role. Some gathered food, others stood guard. A single human looked weak, but a united group standing tall, shouting, and holding spears appeared far more intimidating than their size suggested. Predators trusted instinct. Humans trusted experience. Every encounter taught a new lesson, making the next generation just a little harder to hunt. Ancient humans learned that the ground could tell a story. Every footprint revealed who had passed by, and whether it was still nearby. Not every place was safe. Humans carefully chose camps where predators would have difficulty sneaking close. Once humans learned to control fire, smoke became another powerful defense. Many animals preferred to stay away from it. A breaking branch, frightened birds, or suddenly silent grasslands. Ancient humans learned that nature often warned them before predators appeared. Little by little, predators began facing a different kind of human. One that watched more carefully, worked together, and fought back when necessary. Ancient humans didn't always hunt alone. Working together meant more eyes, more protection, and a much better chance of returning home alive. Even with better tools, darkness remained terrifying. Every sound outside the camp could mean another hungry predator. Instead of facing danger one by one, humans discovered that standing shoulder to shoulder made them appear far larger and far more dangerous. Whenever possible, humans sheltered inside caves, with only one entrance to defend. Predators had far fewer opportunities to attack. Millions of years earlier, humans were easy prey. But now predators faced organized groups, simple weapons, careful planning, and growing intelligence. The balance was beginning to change. Then came the greatest breakthrough in human history. Fire didn't just provide warmth, it transformed the relationship between humans and predators forever. Most predators had never seen controlled fire before. The light, heat, and smoke made many of them hesitate. For perhaps the first time in countless generations, ancient humans could sleep with a little less fear. Day by day, humans explored farther. Places that once belonged only to predators slowly became part of humanity's world. Ancient humans never became the fastest, the strongest, or the fiercest animals on Earth. They survived because they adapted, cooperated, and refused to give up. That simple difference would eventually change the entire planet. At first, spears were made for protection. But eventually, humans realized they could also use them to hunt. For the first time, they didn't have to wait for danger, they could control it. Humans rarely relied on strength alone. Every successful hunt began with a plan. Every hunter had a role. Some quietly moved ahead, others waited, and everyone trusted the plan. Humans weren't the only hunters on the savannah. Every hunt carried another risk, becoming prey yourself. Every day, humans hunted for food, while predators searched for opportunities. Survival depended on who noticed the other first. Humans discovered they didn't always need to chase animals. Sometimes, the landscape itself could do the hard work. Speaking loudly would scare away prey. Instead, hunters communicated with simple hand signals and eye contact. Large rocks weren't just obstacles. They became hiding places, lookout points, and natural shields against predators. Hunting wasn't instinctive. Every generation practiced again and again until teamwork became second nature. Generation after generation, these small improvements added up. Humans were no longer simply surviving the world's deadliest predators, they were becoming one of the most intelligent species the planet had ever seen. Finding food was only half the battle. The smell of fresh meat could attract hungry predators from miles away. Ancient humans didn't always hunt. Sometimes they patiently waited for large predators to finish eating, then carefully collected whatever remained after the predators had left. Unlike many predators, humans shared food with the entire group. Children, elders, and injured members all benefited from cooperation. The oldest humans weren't always the fastest. But they remembered where predators hunted, where water could be found, and how to survive another season. In the prehistoric world, survival didn't belong to the strongest tribe. It belonged to the tribe that communicated better, planned better, and trusted one another. When the rains disappeared, water became scarce. Humans and predators were forced toward the very same rivers, making every drink a dangerous gamble. Rivers offered fresh water, but they also hid one of the oldest ambush predators on Earth. Humans soon realized that if they followed migrating animals, they could also find fresh water, food, and safer places to live. Ancient humans didn't win every encounter. Sometimes the smartest decision was simply to walk away. Strength mattered. Speed mattered. But adaptability mattered most. Humans survived because they constantly changed their behavior to match a changing world. Fire did more than keep humans warm. It changed the balance of power. Animals that had once hunted humans now thought twice before approaching a glowing campsite. Humans didn't simply stop wherever they wanted. They carefully built camps that were easier to defend and harder for predators to approach unnoticed. Even the safest camp was never left unguarded. While others rested, trusted watchkeepers stayed awake through the night. Survival wasn't something humans were born knowing. Every child had to learn where danger lived and how to avoid it. Over thousands of generations, something remarkable happened. Many predators learned that humans were no longer easy prey. A group carrying fire and spears was often more trouble than it was worth. Over time, humans improved their weapons. By attaching carefully shaped stone points to wooden shafts, their spears became stronger, sharper, and far more effective. Humans didn't stay in one place forever. Curiosity pushed them into forests, rocky hills, and unfamiliar landscapes filled with new dangers. Every new habitat introduced unfamiliar predators. Survival meant learning the rules of each new environment all over again. Humans became expert travelers. As the seasons changed, entire communities moved together in search of food, water, and safety. Eventually, some groups traveled farther than anyone before them. Step by step, generation after generation, humans began spreading beyond Africa into the rest of the world. Beyond the grasslands, humans encountered towering mountains. Steep cliffs, freezing winds, and thin air created dangers unlike anything they had faced before. As humans spread north, they entered a world shaped by ice. Survival now depended on staying warm as much as avoiding predators. The Ice Age introduced enormous new animals. Mammoths, cave bears, and giant predators ruled these frozen landscapes. Humans adapted once again. Animal hides became warm clothing, helping entire communities survive freezing winters. From scorching savannas to frozen wilderness, humans kept adapting. No matter where predators lived, humans learned how to survive beside them. Humans never developed the fastest legs or the sharpest claws. Instead, they learned something far more powerful: how to plan together before a hunt even began. Successful hunts weren't won by one hero. Every person had a role. Some tracked footprints. Others guided the herd. Everyone worked together. A lone human was still vulnerable. But a large group carrying fire and spears became something many predators preferred to avoid. The greatest weapon humans ever created wasn't made of stone or wood. It was the ability to think, communicate, and solve problems together. For millions of years, humans had been hunted. But through cooperation, intelligence, and constant adaptation, they slowly transformed into one of the most successful survival stories in Earth's history. Long before they ever saw a predator, humans often knew it was nearby. The land itself left clues for those who knew how to read them. Birds suddenly taking flight, monkeys sounding alarm calls, even nervous antelope could warn humans that a predator was close. Whenever possible, humans chose higher ground. From above, it was easier to spot danger before danger spotted them. Close encounters were remembered for years. Every narrow escape taught the tribe something new, making the next journey a little safer. Unlike claws or teeth, knowledge could be shared. Every lesson learned by one generation became an advantage for the next. Humans didn't sleep just anywhere. They searched for places that offered the best protection from weather and from hungry predators. A cave could protect humans from rain and wind, but it might already belong to a bear, a lion, or another dangerous animal. During dangerous moments, children stayed in the safest part of the group. Protecting the next generation was essential for survival. When danger appeared, panic could be deadly. Humans survived because entire groups reacted together instead of acting alone. Step by step, lesson by lesson, generation after generation, humans learned to survive almost every predator the planet could throw at them. Not because they were the strongest, but because they never stopped adapting. Something remarkable had happened. It wasn't just humans adapting to predators anymore. Predators were beginning to adapt to humans. Every migration brought new lessons. Different climates, different animals, different dangers. Each challenge made humanity more adaptable than before. Skills that once saved a single family gradually became traditions shared across entire generations. Over thousands of years, humans spread across continents. They crossed deserts, forests, mountains, and frozen lands, bringing their survival skills wherever they went. For millions of years, humans had lived in fear of predators. But now, through intelligence, cooperation, and adaptation, the balance of nature had quietly shifted. Humans weren't just surviving in nature anymore. Little by little, they were beginning to change it. Fire wasn't only protection against predators. It gave warmth, light, cooked food, and helped humans explore places that once seemed impossible. As survival improved, groups slowly became larger. More people meant more ideas, more protection, and more knowledge to share. Every place humans visited taught them something new. Desert winds, frozen valleys, deep forests, each landscape became another classroom. In the end, humanity's greatest advantage wasn't sharper teeth, stronger muscles, or faster speed. It was the incredible ability to learn, adapt, and work together. A lion could run faster. A bear could hit harder. A crocodile had a stronger bite. Yet none of them could match the power of thousands of human minds working together. Animals relied mostly on instinct. Humans inherited something different. Every child began life with thousands of years of shared knowledge waiting to be learned. Even after escaping the world's deadliest predators, humans kept changing. Every challenge became another opportunity to improve. Few species have traveled so far, survived so many dangers, or adapted to so many different worlds. Humanity's story is one of the greatest survival journeys ever told. Humans didn't become the dominant species because they were the strongest. They became dominant because they could imagine, cooperate, and adapt faster than any predator ever could. Ancient humans never eliminated predators. They accomplished something far more impressive. They learned how to live alongside them and survive. Even today, our instincts carry echoes of those ancient struggles. We still notice sudden movement, loud noises, and hidden dangers almost without thinking. Every invention that protected ancient humans, from fire to teamwork, became the foundation for everything that came later. Looking back, the greatest survival tool was never a spear or a fire. It was the human mind, constantly learning, constantly adapting, and constantly working together. The world's deadliest predators shaped humanity, but they never defeated it. Through intelligence, cooperation, and endless curiosity, our ancestors achieved something extraordinary. And every one of us carries that survival story within us today.